heard that.
Welcome back.
I'm Jocelyn.
I'm Caden.
And we
Our best
of
kin.
kin. And we are tired.
I'm very tired.
KK's sleepy. We in general are tired because we swam this morning, and I'm saying it because I want kudos. I want props. I love it. I love the
more
swimming.
tiring than last time.
It was more tiring last time?
More tiring than last time.
Probably because, you had a late night at work. Why do you feel like this was... Well, first of all, the water is deeper in these lanes. And it felt harder to slog through and stay buoyant, in my opinion, than at Lifetime. We went to a new pool today. I'm trying to think about what was different because it didn't. The lanes didn't feel longer.
Probably just the size of the pool.
The size of sizable pool, much busier, so maybe more current that you're working through. Generally, really liked the pool. I'm not going to say what the pool is for safety reasons.
Okay.
For the 3 people. But I liked the pool a lot, and I definitely would continue to go to that one. No problem. There's showers.
Yeah, it's perfect, especially for what you need.
13 lanes. That's all I need. So I'm looking forward to it. I thought I was going really fast until I Googled what was considered pretty fast and realized I'm going slow. And then my slows are probably glacial.
You can't expect anything better than that one. As far as consistent swimming, that was.
But I do feel I'm able to do it without
struggle,
full exhaustion, drowning, choking on the water. I'm moving along. My breaks are getting shorter and shorter.
Like riding a bike.
How are you, Kaden?
Good. Yeah, I'm just tired. We talked about it earlier. Just try not to get burnt out or putting yourself too thin where, you just feel like not doing anything,
It's everything that you want to do becomes a burden. That's what we were talking about earlier this morning because I'm starting to feel a little burnt out or just looking at the schedule. Where is time for anything? I've plotted now Logan golf. Logan does this these mornings. I'm doing this these mornings. And then we each have our own work. Logan has to get some design hours in every week I'm not trying to work every weekend either. Your girl needs a break. Logan needs a break. I don't want to make him work on his only days off. But sometimes there's just no time. And then the daily delicacy of it all. I'm it's not working for me to be doing it evenings because first of all, the sun is setting. That feels like too much pressure to be go, go, go. The sun is setting.
Well, it's also getting later. 6:40
I know, but then it's getting hotter and that window area gets really hot.
Yeah.
And then the drinks are melting. And so then I'm having to suck out the water that's melting in the ice and add fresh ice. It's
the only place to do it.
That's the only place that has that kind of lighting. My other thing is we might need to do something outside, but then that doesn't help the heat of it all. Outside would be easiest because then we're not confined by the lighting in this window. But then we're
it's the sun really amplifies.
It might have to be mornings.
Well, that's
kind of crazy here in the mornings. There's always something going on. People are making breakfast. We can't just be right here in the mornings.
Yeah, that would not be ideal.
No.
I wouldn't like that, but
no, and that's what I've already said. I'm if we do mornings, we'd have to do it outside because it would be cooler in the morning.
It just depends when in the morning.
Well, no, it would be cooler in the morning to where we might be able to do it outside, but then that doesn't help with the sun melting the things. But then maybe the sun's not an issue. I didn't analyze the light outside. It's kind of cloudy today, but
I just don't know. As summer comes.
I just don't know where to fit in all the things, and I just don't know when to do what. I want to take Santa to the library every Monday to do a little story time. There's just things I want to do that are nice. We had a gorgeous start to the week
just
this week.
Just gotta see what's priority,
Well, that's the thing. It's we already have brand outreach for Daily Delicacy. So I'm that could be, we have a brand that wants a trial video. And if that goes well, they're going to start paying us. So it's that is an income stream. So that's not necessarily, I don't want to stop doing the pod. I really do enjoy it. Like it is like creatively fulfilling. And also, I was just thinking about this. Remember, let's take us back to when we first started our first couple epis. It felt like a lot of work, a little bit. Like it felt like more effort. And now it just feels so second nature that it's just really nice to be able to this quickly like put together a podcast and like put up an episode like with it's like second nature at this point. It's very like low mental effort.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean,
Even episodes, I think of them the day before.
as far as like output and quality
Yeah. Right.
compared to others that I mean, some people just still use,
Yeah. The
a phone mic, right?
yeah. No, the I feel like that's the thing. It's like what we're able to put out for the effort we're getting into it, just like even more makes it worth it. But there's just certain things where I'm like, the output feels too much for what I'm getting out of it. I just have to analyze. But I don't want all of these things to feel like a burden or like, ugh.
Yeah.
Is that how you're feeling these days? Just being so busy and like,
Just yeah, I feel like every day is nonstop. I need to, I guess, reassess.
however, do you not kind of like that? You've always been kind of want your whole life since you were a child. You've always just been go, go, go. And if you're like sitting still, you feel like you're not doing enough or you're like not being either productive or you're like,
Well,
you
that's what I have
feel
to get better at. Like
sure.
accepting. I mean, I used to. I just feel like with. I don't know. Maybe I just need a break from certain things. Like cut out social media again, just because I just
Uh-huh.
feel burnt out on that end.
Uh-huh.
Whereas like the things I like to do are like becoming things I don't like to do or don't want to do.
Right. And do you think that any of that is like content creating your workouts makes you not want to work out because you don't want to have to content create? Or is it like is that an added barrier? Because it's like you're double timing.
Oh, for sure. I guess it's also putting like subconscious or like an idea in the back of my head of a pressure of like a only way out or
Uh-huh. Which if you're doing something just for money or just as like a way out, like that's not that doesn't have like longevity to it.
it's not the only reason obviously,
Sure.
but it adds like a
A layer
barrier
of pressure for sure.
just cuz. But I mean, yeah, I think a cleanse in all spaces,
Mm.
maybe that's just what I need to do is just take like I just feel like stuff's building up in my room again,
Mm.
clothes I don't
A
need, stuff like that. Yeah,
detox.
so
Yeah. You've
just
got so many
getting rid
nice
of things
clothes.
and
Definitely could get rid of some probably. But yeah, that always makes a huge difference. Like didn't the energy just feel different in this house when you got home last night? Maybe not, but just like having our house cleaned yesterday,
I mean honestly,
there is a
not too much for
spiritual
me.
shift on my end. Like just not seeing dust under the island, like just like little things or where the light catches certain areas of the house and I'm like, "Oh god," like looks horrible. Just little things that just so happy.
The trick is maintaining.
But that's like so hard to do, especially when all of us are literally go go go. And with Le Toddler. Um, so you feel like maybe your room is mounding, clutter, your life perhaps cluttered. I mean, I feel like you're pretty good at prioritizing the things that matter to you. That's like all you do is just like, I'm going to only do what matters to me, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's just yeah, just I guess pressure I put on myself because I mean obviously work has been a little bit better
How's it?
as far as financially. Yeah, I
Sure.
mean,
We're in the season.
line's getting a little bit better. Like I don't really have any. I think I mean me and Logan were talking about it, just giving less I guess attachment to it,
Yeah.
like caring a lot less,
Right.
which is kind of hard as for my personality type, but
Compartmentalizing.
yeah, or just like knowing that you did what you had to do, and so if there is like an angry thing or like an angry guest or food
not
comes out when
yes,
you can't
yes,
do anything about it.
and not bringing it
And just
home.
put it on a manager or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not too worried about the late nights anymore just because I am, if you can get up early, you can get up early. But I think it's just like having every day attached with something. It can feel like I don't have, because I think my biggest thing is like, I do like to be alone.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm sure Logan can relate to that too.
Yar.
So when I'm not, I just feel like just,
Chaotic?
no, just like bland, just
Angry? Oh.
stagnant of just nothing.
Okay. Okay. So you feel more
I
like
feel
I feel
like
you're
batteries.
drained.
Yeah, the
Yes,
batteries. There's no
yes.
battery.
That rings true for sure. Like you need because I've always, I guess my perception of you has always been like you need people, like friends and all these social activities to like fill up your battery. But it's almost not that. It's like your alone time fuels you up to where then you can have these like long stretches of like go.
Yeah.
But then if there's no balance, like and that is, I mean, yeah, Logan relates a lot. That you and Logan are actually really quite similar. He is so social and like I don't know if brave is the word because I think I just have had anxiety my whole life. You know what I mean? That like you guys are more normal in that sense that I'm like, it must be so
A lack
nice.
of worry.
Just like a couple examples, like even this morning, like going to a new pool. I don't like going somewhere new by myself for the first time. I almost need someone to take me, show me show me around. Not like you showed me around, but just like not being alone, like, oh, where are the bathrooms? Like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Even
It's intimidating.
taking Sienna to this library story time thing, I was like planning on taking her by myself, but I was like, will you just go with me for the first one so I like know the lay of the land, know where it
Catching
is,
vibes.
know where to park, so that in the future I'm not like with Sienna and stressed about like I don't know where we're going and yeah, what are the vibes? And like I always need like someone to go with me for the first one. And Logan is just not like that. Like he could do anything for the first time and figure it out and not feel any kind of anxiety, not feel any kind of like I'm like, doesn't your face get hot? And he's like, what are you
Oh,
talking about? Like, no. I just cannot imagine that. And that must be so nice. I don't know why I started talking about that, but just like in that sense, I think you guys are really similar. Like you'll both go and do something for the first time and have no problem. And like you both need alone time to recharge, but you're both extremely social and extroverted, but still like need the balance of like introversion in order to like maintain that. You guys are actually really similar. It's funny.
yeah, I guess so.
And you guys started golf. You guys golfed together for the first time this week. He loved it. He texted me during it and he was just like, I love.
It's fun, yeah.
And I'm like, good. I'm glad it's outdoors. Again, we could talk, another 15 minutes
Pinpoints
on
all the needs.
pinpoints a lot of needs. Logan started doing like group fitness classes in the last week that he really likes. And again, I literally asked him and I'm like, when you go, like, are you nervous parking and like walking in, not knowing like what the situation is? You don't even know what workout you're doing. He just kind of like signed up and went without really even looking into it at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to read the reviews. I need to see pictures of the studio. I need to put exits and entrances. Like, I need to prepare myself.
I mean, I would for sure. I would still feel like, I mean, you still want to look like you don't know what
You
you're
want to be
doing.
like,
Like, don't belong. Like,
but
you
then
want to look like.
But that is because we care about how we're perceived. Whereas
Yeah.
he has almost none of that. He's like, no, I'm literally there for myself. Like, why do I care about like what anyone else is doing or what they think I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm like,
valid.
that is
Preach.
impressive. Yeah.
That's the way we should live.
Must be nice. So how do you combat your situation? Because I really thought like, oh, maybe if you got a different job. Okay. My mindset. Here, hold on. Let me organize my thoughts for a minute. I was going to say, how do you combat the battery drain and how do you make the time for yourself with your current schedule? What do you do? And then secondly, I had an idea for you, which was you don't go really to the Lifetime gym as much as you go to that other one. And you don't technically like need that other job. You could drop Lifetime in terms of freeing yourself
Yeah, I
from
could see that.
things. Like that's like one thing where it's like you don't technically need those hours because you could just pick up hours at Tab if you needed. You could just have one job, not be worried about balancing both. You're not like, oh, Lifetime is my opportunity to be a DJ. You're not doing that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you also don't go to that gym.
I mean, that one specifically.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I did just go yesterday.
Oh. But you also like pay for another one. So it's not like you're like,
well, yeah, because I
I'm
got
only
that
working
one
here
because
for
of
this.
content.
Sure.
That was the only reason why I go there.
Just a thought.
But now Caesar goes there, so that helps.
Just a thought in terms of cutting things out or just like minimizing and simplifying your life a little bit. That feels like one area where it's like more complicated than it needs to be. Just
maybe
my 2
so,
cents.
maybe so.
Just my 2 cents. Do you have any thoughts or you're just not?
As far as what you just said?
Yeah,
I mean,
this the first
I
part
could
one of
see
that.
how that would add, more freedom and a
Less
lack of
scheduling.
feeling that, yeah.
Like, oh, I got to make time for this. Oh, I'm going to work a double this Friday. And then, oh, I'm going to work this Saturday and not like I have to take off
It's
this
tough
Saturday.
being, not having Saturdays available for 8 months is kind of weird.
Yeah. Even though you haven't worked one, have you?
I've worked one.
Okay.
And then this upcoming.
Because it was like really rainy for a little bit, and then you went to Tucson.
I literally just got TJ hired though.
You did? Well,
yeah,
great. Now
TJ
he can replace you. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. It's a thought. It's a thought.
Do you have any other like ideas of ways to minimize, or is that? I mean, not. That
that would be a big one because it isn't like even like a good weekend, right? It would probably be. Well, it's funny too because I think I might just be Saturdays moving forward,
which would be nice. But again, it's like, why take a Saturday when you could be Monday through Friday at Tab?
I don't know if I would even do that.
Sure, whatever you need to make what you want to make. That's the thing. You're like in control of it on that end. But it does seem like an added complexity, a second job, like another person to be beholden to in terms of your time, losing Saturdays for most of the year. And you don't need the membership.
Yeah, the only reason I'd keep it is whatchamacallit?
The sauna.
I know other places have that benefit, but
wait, who has a sauna?
Too.
Because I'm dying for. Well, there's local pickleball, local community.
No, I know. That's why I'm just saying that the courts are really nice and they have leagues and such, but those are like not deal breakers of
right, like balancing.
I think I used to use it, but
you definitely when you first started working there,
it was very exciting
new.
And obsessed with it, but I think I think it was more fun too.
When it was more lifestyle.
A new idea, yeah. But then when it became, last season it was pretty shitty, I will say.
And you were excited about this season because they renovated, like you were.
Yeah, but
again, not a reason to like.
No, not at all.
Stay or lose a Saturday.
Yeah, it would only be. It's tough because I just got TJ there, and then I'm just so ingrained now. I'm like a veteran there now.
I know.
So it's funny.
I know.
But we'll see. There's definitely something to think about for sure.
Just one of my ideas.
Yeah, I'd like to weigh out really all the pros and cons because there's not many pros. It just kind of became that's what I have now,
Yeah.
Yeah, could be a thought.
There you go. There you have it. That'll be $25. Pay me for my ideas. Okay.
What is it? Almost April?
It's almost April. Gorgeous time of year. Today is a particularly nice day. Just with the cloud cover, it's nice. We've had a couple of hot days, which have been very annoying.
Yeah, broken record.
I'm like
97 yesterday.
So hot. I laid out yesterday. It was nice.
It'll drop again though.
Okay, good. Thank God. I was like not ready for that to already
drop
be
again. I mean, yeah, it's actually might be another. April might be a good month.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing like 78, 79,
Ah,
82,
we
81.
need to throw a party.
We need string lights and a grill. Or just a grill.
You
Or
think that?
string lights.
One or the other. I mean, I'm dying to get some string lights, but it is just like it's a project because you got to get the wire, you got to mount the things to the
Yeah, well, that's the
thing.
thing. You need time
It's a
to install too. Because
project.
what if you get it and it's just like sitting there? You know?
I know. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to
Yeah.
buy all the things, have spent the money, and then like not get to. And if we're going to do it, it's like, it's got to be now because the good weather is like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
granted, that's the reason you have string lights, so that when the sun goes down, you can continue to enjoy outside. And one thing I noticed just living here last summer, Kaden, the grass makes it 10 plus degrees cooler in this backyard. Like the cold grass on your feet makes
I give it 5.
No, I'm telling you, it was the easiest summer I've ever had in all the years of living in Arizona. Like the easiest summer. I had there were no days where I was like, God, it's too hot to live. Because our AC is amazing and the grass and the trees, the shade that you get. I think that if we had string lights, we could enjoy that backyard year round. And that's the
Well,
thing, we
yeah, at
can't enjoy
night.
it when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
Not like it really as much. So, no, we should do it soon. I just need to oh God, set a day. What are some other ways we can declutter our lives? I don't know. I haven't thought about this ahead of time, so I don't have any top of dome ideas.
Yeah, it's like obviously we see the patterns of how we are throughout all these episodes, you
Uh
know. So
huh.
it's like, what is the reoccurring thing that
Like, what is the problem?
get us back to like?
The good old days.
No, you're not listening. To what I'm saying.
I am listening.
No, I know. Like I'm not. You're not understanding. I'm saying, what is a reoccurring thing in our lives that have brought us or me anyway to like this state on a
Over on a cycle,
yeah, in
a
yeah, a
pattern.
little bit.
Right.
It's like,
Why are
oh,
you down in the dumpy?
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not down. I'm just like, yeah, indifferent. Like you're just
Yeah. Yeah.
like thinking constantly of, well, yeah, I got
What you
this, but
should be
then I'll
doing.
have time, but then I still have to be at work the rest of the night, and then
Mm
tomorrow's a day off, but then you have other things to do.
hmm. Mm hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm not bitching, but
No, 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 no.
just
I
looking for the
asked.
reoccurring
Yeah. Like, how did we get here again?
something.
Yeah, Logan, I'm sure you guys should talk about that because Logan can relate a lot. And I don't have a Salulu for you.
No need.
Even for myself, I'm like, how do I? I think waking up, because I have the ability to go to bed early and wake up early. That's the thing for me. That it's like, let's do that. Let's try that
Yeah,
out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I've been late last couple of nights. I've been like in bed at 9:30, asleep between 10 and 10:30. But I have been finding if I have any alcohol at all, it is harder for me to fall asleep
absolutely.
without being so tired that like my eye like I have to like be up until my eyelids are literally like can't stay open anymore for me to like fall asleep and get a good night's sleep. And I don't want it to be, I want to be like, I want to be able to sleep on command. I want to be like 9:30, a good night, without,
Which you could train.
you can. But I think the other thing too is like being on your phone like at night. It's like my mind is like almost waiting for the added like stimulation to be able to wind down.
It's almost become routine, you know.
I know. I
So like you're
really,
really training yourself to
uh-huh.
get in bed and then see a light.
I know. It's terrible.
It is.
It's really bad.
But like a sober day with
With
least
low social
technology and
media.
some sun exposure, I mean, I feel like that's a nice sleep.
That alone, you just saying those three things made me just think immediately of like childhood.
Or cozy bed, yeah.
Just like, one of the best days is just like being outside, play, coming in, having a turkey sandwich, putting on lotion. You're just like kind of warm. Your skin is warm, You take a nice
AC's hitting.
shower, AC's hitting, you have some yummy food, and then you're like in bed and you're just like, mm.
Yeah.
No screens, like no nothing. Why did life feel better then than now? How can we not draw the conclusion of like internet and screens?
We're saying
Like when
other
we
than that.
in childhood, it's like I cannot think of any well, no, I could think if I needed to, I could think of some reasons, but it's like I can't help but think that internet and screens
Well,
is why
you
things
got
don't feel
bored and
as
then you found
visceral.
something to do after being bored.
There was always something to do. I mean,
That's the biggest
I
thing.
was
Is
pretty
like
bored just in
it's like
general as a kid, but
try to be bored. You know,
try to be bored. I mean, for you
like sit with
especially.
yourself
Yeah, that's tough being
doing
bored.
nothing. It is, yeah. We're
But then
so
I would be like, I'd probably buy some scrapbooking stuff, and then I'd probably start getting into that, which is what I want to do. That's been on my list all. That was my New Year's resolution was to scrapbook, and I haven't bought the things.
yeah, doing little things like that can make you feel
More alive.
or almost like at a slower pace.
Yeah. You know what? My conclusion, just in general, has been that these days, God, since the new millennium, truly, the world just feels increasingly more bleak and lacking in hope and excitement to where everyone truly, is looking for a community, is looking for whatever online. And so it has birthed so many subcultures that people are just like locking in on these really niche things that there's like in real life, there's like religion and there's things to like find a community and find a tribe, run clubs, you find a tribe.
A lot of subcultures, yeah.
A lot of subcultures, but the internet specifically, the anonymity of it, I think, especially, has bred just some really interesting out there subcultures. And that's what the topic is today. So we should dive in.
What was it again? I actually totally forgot.
Niche subcultures of the internet.
Oh, yeah.
So that was my gorgeous segue.
Oh, really? That's what we're talking about today?
Yeah. I texted it to you yesterday.
I know. I hearted it. I just totally forgot.
All right.
I don't know why I thought it was like scams again or something.
You got scams on the mind.
I guess that is perfect. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. As our real world support systems crumble, people turn to virtual universes and online communities to fill a void.
Yeah.
The problem is there's no more village. There's no more in-person tribes. There's no more community. And that's why I was saying in the last episode, it's important to just go do like at least like a daily activity that gets you outside around people, to not be so like life doesn't feel real anymore. You know what I mean?
That's the reason why we do anything that I guess wouldn't deem to be productive,
right?
Is to fill a void,
right? Exactly.
That's what we're constantly doing.
But we could be replacing that with more community things. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just
instead of filling the void, maybe emptying it, like taking it away.
Yeah, instead of adding. Yes, replace it with other things.
Not filling it.
Yeah. Or filling it with things that aren't on the phone or internet.
I know. I was telling Lily about Social Dilemma because she's never seen it.
We should all watch it.
Yeah, I was talking like any documentary like that. You have to go so hardcore after seeing it because you're so like...
You're like truly inspired.
And aghast.
Yeah.
But then you slowly creep back in just because
it's built that way.
Exactly. But it's also the society acceptance of it, like so you try it's so hard not to compare yourself of like as far as like for me, like when other people are doing fitness stuff or in the content realm, and obviously they seem to be happy, but when I try and do it, then like it deems to be like a weird sense that like I don't feel like
as satisfied as other people seem to be by it,
or by just not maybe true to myself or fully aligned, chakras,
chakra
lined up, But then it's like I keep saying like there's so many others that do it, and so it feels as if I should be able to do it, But I mean, everyone is truly different, but there's that sense of. A lot of people are the same But
A lot of people
you
are
truly
carbon
don't. You
copies as
truly
well,
don't
just
know.
like copying other content. Like, not a lot of originality online at
Yeah,
this point. Like, it's all trends, regurgitated content. I get in the phases where I'm like, wow, I really want to make content. And then I'll like
yeah,
make a ton of content in a week, and then I won't touch it for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, a
yeah.
year,
Which is
which
not
is
that it's
normal.
normal and fine, but at least you're not pretending to
Yes.
go away from yourself of what you feel
Yes.
is that adds.
Just like writing the intuition on it. But it's also like, we're currently in a phase of like, do I even need to be adding to the online discourse in this way, or am I better suited for like a Substack or like the podcast, or like, you know what I mean? Like, do I even need to be contributing to the internet in that way?
Because also like the longevity of it, or where is this going? Is this a
There's
fad?
already another
You
TikTok
know?
ban up in question for in April 25th. It's just like, that's never going to stop. There's always going to be another social media that replaces it, that people then have to jump on and try to like be one of the first to make a
And there
million
are
followers.
benefits of it, of course, for
Which,
small
yes,
businesses.
we've talked a lot about that.
People are making a career out of it.
Yes.
Which is
Shit
good.
tons of money.
But that is not to say, there's like a good quote I think we've talked about before. Just because it is something like difficult to do doesn't mean it's like something you have to achieve.
Exactly. Just because you can make $1 million doesn't mean that has to be what you do. Like, just because it seems so accessible.
Everyone loves TikTok. Everyone's on TikTok. A lot of people are successful on it. That doesn't mean that then that's a route to become successful.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess, easy to entry.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to backtrack and make excuses. Obviously, that'd be awesome, Yeah. But as I'm doing it, and this is the second time around, like I'm feeling like I don't even like to lift anymore. Like I don't even want to do any of that. Whereas like when I first found out to lift and I was like going on runs and like way back in Station on Central, like I just loved going to the gym. I loved being in the gym.
Yeah.
And it was for myself. So I think that's what.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm not doing things for myself anymore.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ding, 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 ding.
But that could lead to also.
It's like, it's such a tough balance.
It is. Because also like in a relationship now too, like you have to be selfless a lot as well.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. So with content, especially that, like you're kind of fade away the idea of why you started, and it's I should just want to be like fit for myself.
Content aside, because I don't like the mindset of like, this is my way out. Like that is not like any reason to do honestly anything. Like if it's not something like you love the gym, that doesn't mean that you love content creation, and content creation is the job at the end of the day. You love the gym, but that doesn't equate loving content of the gym.
Let's say I did continue and get big on it, but then would I even be way more stressed?
What if you had 1 million followers that then you were like, pressure, like I have to look perfect, I have to be perfect, I have to have the perfect routines?
It would fuck me up.
Yeah.
And I think people take that for granted. It's way easier said than done. Like, if I had 1 million followers and I can post all that shit, it's like
I would feel more private. Important? I would feel more and more private the more eyes that were on me.
That's another thing too.
The privacy of it all.
Yeah, if I like to be alone and I'm shitting myself out on my digital footprint.
And then what if 1 million people you're just getting all these comments, these DMs, constant distraction. Mm-hmm. Like, is that how you want to spend your time even more on your phone? When right now you're like, I need to detox off my phone. If you had a huge following on social, like you could, but it would affect your income. You know what I mean? To do those detoxes. Mm-hmm. So then it's like, I also feel like everything comes when the timing is right. So it's like, it may not be content, but whatever it is, the thing that's after service industry, like will come organically and will
the service
come when it's
industry
time.
Is a very small blip of my lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah, it feels like that's obviously all
it's
my life.
Every day.
Yeah, but it's also like it's only been 2 years of my like my 25 or 27 is all I've been in the service industry.
Logan's been in the service industry since we met.
Yeah, it's a little different. But it's done y'all well. It's done me well.
Look at where we are, baby.
I do well.
Yeah.
However, the subcultures of it all.
But no, it's fine. I don't mind a little how did we even get onto that? A little Subconversation. I don't remember how that happened. Just people turning to virtual universes and online communities.
Filling voids.
I saw a TikTok of this guy that was like, I'm going to try and do like a daily outing that hopefully gives me the will to live. Because it's like, again, life is so bleak, they're so lacking in hope, and it's like, where's the things for the American people? Like, where's the healthcare? You know, like, where's the free healthcare? Where's the universal basic income? Like, where's the things that we are supposed to be like given to like keep working?
But aside from all of that, I mean, we have lived in the same America essentially our whole lives.
Yeah.
And there's been phases, like you said, when we're kids that
felt better.
You felt
That's because we didn't know anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think there's a good balance of is the facts.
Huge part.
I mean,
our brains aren't meant to digest that much information,
or to have literally access to anything you want to know. I mean, first of all, like chat, right? Like,
oh, I know, a little thing or two.
It's such an amazing tool, but it's also like, where is that taken away from
learning?
Yeah,
by doing or learning in a
creativity.
Field yeah, sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Lily though. That was a conversation we had because it's kind of true in some ways, you know. Obviously there's so much like value that it gives.
Yeah.
But maybe just a simple brainstorming task or
but
obviously it's not like you're gonna go like
it does help a brainstorm.
It does, yeah.
Like it helps prompt new ideas all the time. And I use it mostly for administration, which it's literally a personal assistant. Like it saves me hours of time to where I can spend that time creating and designing and not on quotes and emails. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like the things that are bogging me down mentally. So it is just like a balance at the end of the day. But this TikTok I saw, this guy was like, I'm going to see if I can do a daily outing just to like gain the will to live. And he just like went and got a coffee, chatted for 3 seconds with the cashier, went home, and he was like, yeah, that helped. Like that does it. And I really feel like it's just like getting around people in your community that, I don't know, there's just something more visceral about it. Again, it's like comparing Instacarting your groceries to going to the grocery store. You have so many more little minor interactions and observances and just little things.
Well, yeah, the possibilities of what can happen is insane. And anything could happen.
I know better than anyone, like staying home a lot. I stay home a lot. It does just make you feel like you live in a bubble and like the rest of the world around you isn't even like everything feels like it's on pause almost. Like, I don't know. Life just doesn't feel as real.
I mean, imagine if you stayed here and didn't have any socials.
Oh my God. I would be lacking the country.
You wouldn't even know.
I wouldn't even know any. I mean, bliss, you know, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. So that's a huge.
That's part of it.
Mindset.
Yeah.
It is part of it. I mean, that's exactly what we're just talking about. Too much information.
So then the question is, are people just having fun expressing themselves online, or are we subconsciously trying to escape a bleak reality? And then there's the line between harmless escapism and unhealthy obsession. And some people go too deep.
Yeah, wasn't there a documentary of that mom that was like trying to get, like she would vlog like every day and she was really trying to look or appear as a good mom. But she ended up killing herself. There's a documentary on it.
Oh shit!
It's kind of sad.
There's a lot of,
because it shows like what
the
takes that were uncut, and so like she's like smile, like telling her kids like,
oh
yeah.
Well, there's the Ruby Frankie of it all, who had the 8 passengers YouTube videos. She had the 6 or 8 kids, severely abusing them, like wasn't feeding them, like would lock them up. The kids were found like locked in a panic room with you haven't heard about this, Kaden?
This is not. Well, maybe that's what I was talking about.
Ruby Frankie. She's in prison right now. The mom. Because that is the thing. She would be like,
okay, sorry, this is the girl.
Forcing them to act on camera for her.
Yeah,
YouTube.
that's what I was talking about. I thought she
is in prison.
Okay, she didn't kill herself.
No, she and her accomplice.
But there's a documentary of this, right?
There is, yes.
Okay, yeah, she looks familiar.
The oldest kids have spoken out on it. The kids,
they're like.
The youngest
disassociating.
So sad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, it's
that's
devastating.
A good example.
Part
Obviously,
of that
it's
is because of
severe.
the internet. But I think a huge part of that is the need for external validation.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where I think it gets unhealthy, is when people are like, it goes beyond just like finding a community and having commonality. And it goes into like there's this new Netflix show that's based on a true story of this girl, Belle Gibson, who is Australian, and she faked brain cancer for the following and to sell like health food cookbooks and to like literally just get the empathy and attention and like whatever for years. Was like, oh, drink these green juices. I got rid of my brain cancer. And then she would sell recipes. And people were like dying because they were believing her. That did have cancer.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
Ugh.
So it's just like psychotic. And it's funny because none of the next ones that I have anything to do with that. But it's just like internet breeds like some of the worst in human, like the human what's the
fallacies?
word? No. Like tendencies or like parts of human nature. The worst of it is brought out because of the internet and social.
Well, it's also shown like on a pedestal. I mean,
you can show anything you want to show, and that's what's scary. You could show someone that isn't you. You know what I mean? It's like, and then that goes into the dead internet theory. A lot of people are like, wait, because I've been seeing like any spiritual video I get, there's like 50 comments of the same, oh my God, you've got to read this book. It changed my life. But there's that same comment on
it's everywhere.
Every single video.
Yeah, I'm like,
these are bots like probably paid by PR for this book.
Or like Jesus Christ loves you. And like,
I'm so tired of seeing that one.
That's almost on every single TikTok.
On every single TikTok now.
That or a book, Laws of like Manifesting Money. And
I know for a fact that PR firms hire out these bot comments to sway people's opinion on a certain celebrity. It's like you get a video and like let's say this person's being canceled. All the comments are like, "Oh my God, she looks so good. Oh my God, she looks great. Oh my God, she looks so great." Like similar messaging.
Yeah, I think
but
TikTok is definitely probably the most like powerful persuasion in the comments, right?
100%.
Way more than like when Twitter was like threads, exactly.
Yes.
I feel like because everyone,
I mean, see a video and you're like, how do I feel about this? Let's see what the people say.
80% of people, right when the video, within 3 seconds, they click the comment.
I do.
I know, me too.
Because I'm away. What do we all think about this?
Exactly.
What is the community?
Before even watching it, though, like you're halfway watching or listening, so you're simultaneously taking in all this information.
Sometimes they're so funny.
The comments
are funnier than the videos a lot of the time.
I've definitely laughed aloud. Yeah. But at what cost?
At what cost? Because
and my excuse is also like, I got into working out because there was a guy that put on like a program and I didn't know like what to do or how to do it. And that helped a lot. But now I just feel like I'm finding more of like a video that will give me like the aha, like, oh yeah, this is what I need to do now. Or like that motivation click. But it's like, I already know what I need to do.
Right.
But then I keep searching for it, but it's really just me like procrastinating action. Like, oh, maybe I should just try this different diet. Then I'll see like, then my page becomes more carnivore, more keto. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then it's like, that's what I need to do. But then it just doesn't like.
It's constantly changing like how you feel about what you should be doing, which is like ridding
when we
consistency.
Essentially already know what to do.
Yeah. On a base
but you're
level.
Just looking for more like confirmation.
Validation.
Yeah.
Yes. External validators.
To someone tell you like, this is the way, you're like, oh no, it feels like.
Yeah.
I feel like I can do it. And then it passes.
For me, it makes me feel even more like, ugh, I'm not doing everything I should be doing.
That too.
And then I'm like, oh, I have no time. Like, you know what I mean? It's making me feel like I'm running out of time. I have no time.
Someone, like, and then you scroll to like make someone make you feel like
I'm making the most of my time.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning so much about myself. Okay. We're gonna left turn here. One of the most interesting.
You might need to talk louder because sometimes your whispers don't catch.
One of the most interesting subcultures on the internet is ASMR.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, people like that shit, and I don't.
I don't because I think it's dumb, but it's what started as a relaxation technique has evolved into elaborate role play scenarios.
Yeah. I mean, some people do it. Yeah.
There's role play subgenres of ASMR. Did you know about this? For example, people will watch videos of fake doctors or nurses providing care and attention. So there's medical ASMR.
Oh my gosh, role play?
Yep.
You're saying?
Fake doctors and nurses providing attention to a patient in these
Ew,
and it's not sexual.
That's what's so wild.
In terms of they don't like, whip out a.
There is. That's what there. I know there's sexual ASMR.
Of course
though.
there is. That's not a side I went to on this
but
one.
There's
but
there's subs of subs.
That lends itself because ASMR is a tingling sensation triggered by soft sounds or whispers. So it gives people like the tingles. And I learned in my hypnobirthing classes, preparing for childbirth, that I don't know exactly the hormone that it releases, but like light tickles on the skin, anytime you like get the chills, like it triggers, I think it's serotonin, which helps reduce pain.
Huh.
So like literally light little skin, which
is interesting,
reduces pain, and that's like an actual technique that they would have Logan do.
Music can do that too.
Yes,
which is wild.
Totally. But that's the thing, auditory, right? ASMR, potentially pain relieving.
So are people just like sitting there getting goosebumps the whole time? Like what?
Okay.
Because they always say like, oh, it scratches a part of my brain, but a part of my brain I don't like.
It's like nails on a chalkboard. I mean, okay, so then another role play subgenre, personal attention scenarios, playing the role of a friend, a caretaker, offering soothing words and support. Some people just don't have people in their life,
Mm-hmm.
And so they look to the internet to fill these voids.
And
that's why they get weird.
Where does this lead to? Because it keeps
fantasy
going.
role plays, artists pretend to be vampires, witches, or magical creatures guiding you through mystical experiences.
I can already see the TikToks now. I can already imagine.
I know. And not just TikTok. Imagine long ass YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Imagine Patreons. Imagine people making money, with
oh, for sure. Some of those ASMR videos, people go to them all the time, like the slime
I know.
Get the millions of views. Everything is just a thread of something else.
And there are some, I like a lot of cooking videos that have the actual sounds of the cooking because I'm just like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. I love a little.
Little
chop, sizzle on the pan, slapping
that one
on the
guy,
table.
the Asian with black gloves. Have you seen that guy? It's really clear video, but it's very cut fast and it's
very precise.
Yeah, but everything's also the
what
sound
about that
of
guy
what he's doing.
outside? That is also the sound
big knife.
The big knife in the wood block, and he's just
it's an onion, and then then it breaks. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm trying to think of that in the third person. How much equipment you got out there,
bro? And
you're using all this what's the word? Holistic, natural tools.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
No, what a bitch.
What a bitch to do.
So with ASMR, it's more than just a sound. It's about feeling cared for and valued. With mental health issues on the rise and social support lacking, ASMR offers a sense of comfort and connection. And again, is with all of these that I'm going to continue on with, is there a line where it's we can't be doing that? Or is it free will?
It's free will. That's
when does it? Where is the line, though? Okay, I'll keep going, and then we'll keep talking about where the line is. Otherkin is another subculture born on the internet. People who don't identify as human, non-human entities such as elves, dragons, wolves. They believe that their soul or essence is inherently non-human. Which, if you believe that we could have past lives as dogs, birds.
Yeah, but these ideas that are in these people's heads are stemming
from the internet. They weren't born oh.
These are fake ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. They grew up.
They're it resonates. It's not something that came from them. It's something that they heard that they resonated with.
Yeah, but is that resonation void fulfillment?
Of course, because of childhood trauma.
Resonation. Is that a word? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Resonance.
Therians, a subset. There's a subset of otherkin who specifically identify as animals.
Furries.
Yes.
I saw some at the country concert. When I went.
Really?
Yeah, it was wild. Like they were in cowboy
See,
hats, but they had like tails
I
and
don't have a
ears.
problem, but I saw at
I
Churchill
don't.
once. There was a furry group meetup, and they booked half
Oh
of the
yeah,
Churchill. Were you there for
yeah. You
that?
told me about it.
And they were like bondage, like they
Yeah,
were like
S&M.
bringing one on a leash who was like like following
Wow, at the
behind.
Churchill.
Yeah,
Whoa.
wearing like leather straps and.
And that's people's like weekends every weekend.
Do you think it's only on the weekends, or do you think that like they wake up, they do it, and then they go to work and they like have to take it off, and then they get home and they like put it back on because it's just so who they are?
I don't know, but
Or is it only in meetups?
Me and Caesar went to a after party
Furry
after
convention.
a show, and it was like some warehouse, like underground rave that like no one really knew about. You had to get the address sent to you. Walk in, like these hired like security guards. You had to stickers over your camera, your phone camera. And you go in, and it's like super dark, and like like it was probably like the epitome of an underground rave, like that you see in movies.
Yeah.
And it was definitely more geared towards the gay community, but like the bondage aspect, like they were wearing like
they bird the
leather
underground
speedos and pig masks. And you just imagine like
that's like a horror movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
leathered up
like,
with the
what
pig
the
masks.
Fuck are we doing?
I would be scared.
And you Uber home like at 5 a.m. It was definitely a
Ubered at 5 a.m.
like a low Jesus fucked. Like, what are we doing?
I literally just got chills.
We just thought it was like an after party, like from the rave. Like a lot of people that went to the rave went to it. Or not a lot, but it was kind of a small little venue. But I thought I was like, okay, yeah, more music. Like we're up, we're wired. Let's just keep going. And then we're just like, we definitely were. What's the word?
Fiendin'?
I mean, looked out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Scary.
that was wild. But yeah, on that topic, and those people like that. Yeah, that's their life.
They just want to let loose without judgment. And let their inner freak flag fly.
And we weren't judging. We were just like, we shouldn't be here.
And
there's like another room that we think that like people kept going in and out of. We thought that might
sex.
I think it might have been a sex room. Yeah.
Butt sex only. Sign on the door.
Oh my gosh.
You're like, hey, what's I can imagine you just be like, oh fuck. Okay. Can we?
Yeah.
I guess the only conclusion when it comes to otherkin, it's a way to reject societal norms. It's a way to just liberate oneself. If you feel too locked down, disconnected from your purpose.
Well, also, on simple terms, it's just human nature of finding a community, like a togetherness.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of this.
Because I feel like this stuff did exist. So we can't like deny that it didn't exist prior.
I want to know when this all was founded. Like, who was the first furry who just went out? Maybe it was one of those like hats, that are like with the ears.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these things did exist prior internet.
Did?
I would say so. You don't think?
But like,
you don't think people were on pig masks and
like 80s? I feel like
maybe.
80s was
think
like
about
a
like
mage
the
time.
60s, the drug
pig masks,
war on drugs era.
All right, I'm gonna look deeper into the history of these subcultures.
History of furries.
As far as the furries go, others see it as a coping mechanism to deal with feelings of alienation and not fitting in. So it's like almost like you don't feel like you fit in anyways as like a normie, that it's like, I'm going to not fit in even harder.
Yeah, the polar opposite.
Yeah, it's like, again, rejecting.
The far end.
Yeah, radical. And then along this similar line, so then there's the niche fandoms. The otherkin and the furries are not the same, but furries, I think, stem from a similar, because it's not, like some people think that they're literally a vampire.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think furries are like, no, you can't tell me I'm not a dog.
Some are, though. Some actually believe they're what is it? I mean, you've seen those like what was that TLC show?
The obsession one, where the guy was dating his car.
Yeah, that's exactly
what I was
thinking
thinking about.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. No, literally.
Yeah, he was like hugging it
his car.
Yeah. Or that one person that was like, I mean, that's the thing though. Like, how much is this like a joke? Like they know, like that one person was in love with that one roller coaster. I think like was obsessed. I think with the roller coaster.
I think there's got to be some childhood stuff there. I don't know
what I'm saying.
And then to what extent does it harm others? That poor car. Okay, moving on.
It's tough.
So yeah, the furries. We don't have to keep talking about.
Because at what end do you have to be? Like, are you just fully accepting of
what people do?
Everyone's
everyone's right
like
to
why
live
also
their life.
Why have that affect you? Because it doesn't in any way.
No, 100%.
Just the idea.
I'm just purely like.
It's the how foreign it is. Because people don't like also what they don't understand.
Also, the anti-societal norms. A lot of people do like to fit in. A lot of people do like to fit in that way. So it's difficult to imagine, like, again, I have anxiety going to the library by myself for the first time. I can't imagine walking in with a goddamn furry costume. You know what I mean? Like,
it's also like a blocker too. Like you can't be seen as for what you are.
Yes, right. It's a mask. It's a literal mask.
Yeah.
It's a facade. Okay. Back to Kaden, do you know what a brony is?
A brony. That sounds familiar. I don't think so, though.
Adult fans of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, who see the show's messages of friendship and acceptance as valuable regardless of age, and they have conventions, fanfic, and art that go beyond casual fandom. They
Little
are
Pony?
Adult obsessors of My Little Pony.
Dudes, though? Is that what's brony?
Yes. And it has nothing nefarious. It's purely... Why does it smell like the heat is on?
We're at 76, so...
Are you hot?
I was, but that's the AC. I had to use it.
Okay.
Brony.
With the ponies, I mean, I don't find offense, I'm not upset by it, but I am just like, for there to be a whole community that are into the My Little Pony, it just... Where does that start? Probably a young age. And then where does it end? Probably an old age. But where does it go? I need to look into that a little bit more. Hold on one second. Bronies. Oh! Okay. 2012 documentary, Bronies, the extremely unexpected adult fans of My Little Pony. What? Because I was like, to what extent are the bronies bronies? So I looked it up. There's a documentary from 2012. And they do dress up. But you know what? To what extent is it about My Little Pony, and to what extent is it about just like loving rainbows and...
Explained it. It was giving pedo. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
These are shots from the documentary. Again,
just a similar... show your camera?
I do. Again, this is just...
But can't judge a book.
Can't judge a book by the cover. But as long as it's not nefarious, do I have a problem with it?
Or it's harmless, right?
It's harmless. And at the end of the day, isn't it just people that want to wear rainbow wigs and,
Do you know what this leads to, though?
The gays.
Cults.
Well...
These are all just mini cults, no?
See, there's conventions. It's giving cosplay. It's giving, like, manga.
Cosplay, belonging. Well, the more we talk about all these subcultures, it makes you really realize how many fucking people there are.
I know, because it's like, I haven't seen one of these in the wild.
But it just makes you really... And this is obviously just an American thing, too.
No, there's so much of this that is so American to where I'm like, our country is really in shambles. Because we literally
but that is
are
the beauty
desperate for
of
connection.
the quote-unquote, the melting pot.
I guess.
All these ideas
I
and
feel
freedom
like
of
this
speech,
is also
you know?
sounding pretty French. French people do weird shit like this too. They
Maybe.
really.
But that's another. How disconnected are we for the subcultures of things in Europe? I mean, I couldn't name like
I don't even
5.
know. Well,
This all just seems American.
this is so American. Okay, speaking of American, a lot of it does come from American media. There's another one. Garfield and Shrek cults.
Oh,
Communities that
I get
turn.
the Shrek one.
I get the Shrek one too, and I've even seen.
We love
We
See?
love Shrek.
But what if we
no,
loved My Little Pony? Maybe we would have been supportive of it.
there is actual people that like worship Garfield or Shrek. Like they're ironic cult icons. Is that hitting?
New flavor.
Ooh, orange cream.
So good.
All right.
It's like that one popsicle we used to have.
Mm.
Do you remember that had like the white stuff? Like it was orange and then like the white cream was like in the middle.
Yeah, a creamsicle.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Excellent.
I had a thought as I was over there.
The Garfield and Shrek of it all, it started as a joke, but became a full-blown subculture, blending irony with a sense of devotion. It's like, yeah, Shrek is such an unlikely hero, if you will.
Did you see the new one that's coming out and the animation of it?
It's so bad. It's just like a story
Why?
that doesn't need to be told.
But that too.
Because they're trying to modernize
grab.
the animation to be
Money
more
grab.
like modern cartoon style. But also somebody had made a comment that like the animation style matches like a lot of the memes that you see of Shrek, that it's like, I'll have to show you. But
Maybe they're trying
it's like they're trying to make
tend-
I think they're trying to make memes out of it. Like they're trying to make it a memeable. So like their expressions, it's like giving something you could add text to, or you know what I mean, to like
interesting.
make it.
It doesn't look that. I feel like the Shrek animation
low
is
budge.
almost
Oh, it's so timeless.
yeah, but also
Not that
I
hard
guess
to recreate.
animation is pretty good these days. Like, what's like the best animation you've seen? Modern day.
It's like, is animation CGI?
Yeah,
Or is it?
essentially, yeah.
Because CGI is computers, animation is drawings. But drawing on computers?
Exactly.
What was the first Shrek versus this Shrek?
What a bitch to make. Think about how many animated movies there are.
I know. Drawing
years.
every single detail and every single movement, like Moana, like the water's
They
moving.
draw
so
it?
you have
That's-
I don't know if they drew
I thought
Moana
it has to be
by
computer-
hand. But no, a lot of
That's
it
all.
is.
It's all computer generated.
Think about, Bluey is drawn by hand. That's a little easier to understand. Just got the chills.
Oh, feels good
The
though.
ASMR.
Feels so good.
Okay, moving on. This is obvious to me. Like supernatural shows that people are just so buck wild over. Lost, I feel like, had a moment
Twilight.
there. I mean, yeah, like shows that makes sense to me. The fan art, the fanfic, the theories. Long after the official content stops,
Well, it feels
carries
also
on.
a sense of like belonging. Like you understand all these characters and their stories,
It's
and
like their family.
exactly. I mean, think
And you
about
don't
people
want their
that
story
are.
to end.
It's just they're.
But I
idolized.
wonder, to what extent is it like the age that you were when you were obsessed with the content while it was coming out, that then like you're chasing your younger self, or like looking for feeling like Twilight, for example, like was very when I was like 13 years old. So it's like if I was so obsessed with it then and was still obsessed with it now, to me it would be like I'm still trying to tap into like my 13-year-old self, or like
Well, yeah, you're not
go back
growing.
in time.
You're not growing.
Yeah, going back in time.
Just like me with
Time
SpongeBob,
travel.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was quite the era.
Yeah.
That was your subculture obsession.
I mean, yeah, I asked for a goddamn George Foreman girl for Christmas because I wanted to make Krabby Patties. R.I.P. By the way, he just passed.
George Foreman.
Yeah. He gone.
Rip. No, that's terrible.
Moment of silence. Okay.
Okay, so then in summary, with this stuff, it's less about the content and more about the community and the belonging that it offers. The fans are immersing themselves in universes that feel safe, predictable, and exciting. So it's like a little excitement, but it's predictable. People like predictable.
So they're afraid of real life.
Yes, they're afraid of branching out, and maybe again, like life
Reality.
hasn't treated them that good.
Which is a
So then
scary
there's
thing of the
seeking.
advancement of what's the word? Virtual gaming.
Yeah.
VR
Yeah.
gaming.
Right. So
VR
scary.
worlds.
Well, it's such a Black Mirror episode of like
It
you
is.
just plug in beep, and then you're just like in another
It's
world.
sad, but
I could never
I feel
allow
like
myself.
there could be I don't know, I just can't. I don't want my
I want my kids to live life.
Yeah, I want my kids to live the
A
childhood
real
I got
life.
to, you know.
Yes, that's why I'm like taking her to the library. She's interacting with other 2 and 3-year-olds. Like, I just want her to have visceral, real experiences. Because do you not realize, like, in the last 10 years or however long, like, we've made so many less core memories than you do when you're kids. Because core memories are birthed from doing something different, doing something new, you know?
Yeah, learning something or trying something physically.
Something new, going somewhere new. Core mem.
Yeah.
If you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, none of it's memorable.
Especially when it's aided with drugs or alcohol.
And screens.
Yeah.
All right, this is another little funny. How long have we been going? I feel like
What's your guess?
46 minutes.
68, an hour and 8.
Oh my God. Okay.
Minutes.
Well, I've only got a couple more, but we should discuss. Digital nomads and off-grid dreamers.
Whoa.
Are a subculture mostly born from the internet. I mean,
Oh,
obviously
God.
there was
I'm a culprit.
You are, but
Well,
it's
yeah,
like, again, you're like, I love this aesthetic. I love this idea of being with nature and getting off the grid and being self-reliant and
But
all those things.
How many times I've actually done it? You know?
But because in theory, everything sounds better and easier when aided by aesthetic YouTube videos that are well shot. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as all these other things. Like,
yeah, it's
romanticizing.
Yeah, the romantic. Yeah.
Ultimate freedom is what it feels like. Freedom from the ties that bind. But people who travel full-time while working remotely, in reality, not most, I'll say many, are just barely scraping by, hustling to fund the lifestyle. Because it's actually more expensive than they make. It's like, oh, that sounds like a cheap way to live. That, you know, it's pretty expensive. The materials.
Well, it's also how you're willing to live. So
right.
Conveniences and I mean I've been watching this guy. Oh, maybe I'll watch it after this. That's really the guy is building a tiny home. I've told you about him before.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes to show, like, for a common small area, a place to live, just what needs to go into it and planning and like extra appliances. And
yeah.
Whether it's for convenience, but just basic way of life.
Yeah.
Cooking, sleeping, comfortability.
Which a lot of people can get by on, but it's like, is that enough for a lot of people to feel like satisfied?
Good question.
Who knows? I also see a lot there has been, especially more 2010s, that decade. But still, there's a lot of digital nomads or who are like YouTubers or influencers who are trying to sell their lifestyle. Like, here's how you can be a digital nomad like me and live in Bali. And you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But they're not like as successful as they claim. So it's just like the scams episode. These influencers are selling a lifestyle that they can't even afford. They're only making money off the views, and that's why they can afford it. Kind of thing. It's like that cycle of like, this may not even work for everyone, but you're making money because of the consumption of others, of your content, you know? Which is interesting to me. Social media makes it look glamorous, but burnout and lack of stability are extremely common with digital nomads.
Burnout.
Yeah. The constant having to like find some place to park, find some place to get Wi-Fi. Like, you can't just be middle of the wilderness and work remotely. You have to
Unless
find
you
a place
have
for
like
Wi-Fi.
passive income or you're retired.
Right.
That's a journey.
There's certain things that really need to line up perfectly, I would say, to like really be able to do it enjoyably. But everyone's different. Everyone has different needs. People are obsessed with escaping modern life and living self-sufficiently, building tiny homes, converting vans, living in remote cabins to get away from society. The appeal lies in regaining control of your life, but the reality can be lonely and physically demanding. Because you're literally, again, being self-sufficient.
Because those ideas still excite me, you know.
100%.
maybe it's because I'm not building that grid within.
Oh, oh, but oh God, what was I just gonna say? For example, with the MLM episode, this last one about the scams, you're only seeing the 1% success stories. You're not seeing the 99% fail stories.
That leads me to
It's a false
aesthetically
sense.
Fit people, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
literally like you're seeing a
Uh-huh.
body that has 2% out of like all, like I say, Americans' genetics.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I always try to think about it too. Like, there's a percentage of how many people in America go to the gym. So that
Yeah.
already puts you in a small segment.
Yeah.
How many people then actually are below this body fat that do go to the gym?
Mm-hmm.
Puts you a small. How people look like this and they actually are successful content creators. I mean, it just goes.
And then how much of that is genetics versus like,
But then that's also all you're seeing. So it seems like
yeah.
it's just a fake reality of
Yes.
this
That's
a
what
disillusion.
social media is. It's literally a false reality.
Yeah, it's showing the
giving you
1%
false,
that
yeah.
makes it seem.
That makes it seem like, oh my God, everyone could be a successful content creator.
Makes it seem
But
like
you're
at
only
least like
seeing the
over
successful
50%.
ones.
Yeah.
How many are actually trying? Billions, literally. Like, what if literally everybody in the world was trying to be a content creator, but you see like 10,000? Obviously,
I
these
also
are like
do
insane
believe
numbers, but
everyone there is
there's something for everyone.
yeah, and there is space for everyone, whatever
Yes.
field that's in. But what's the field for you? I mean,
It doesn't have to be content creation
it
either.
doesn't. And whatever aligns and is truly fulfilling, that space will open up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what were you saying?
Just that
Yeah, the scam part
you're
of it.
seeing 1% do it well, do it successfully, and there might be underlying reasons why it even is successful. Again, like passive income, like it just might not even be feasible or plausible for the majority. For whatever that thing is, not just digital nomad life, but just like whatever that thing is.
And again, we're only pinpointing like one specific example when there's thousands.
Right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Why do we fantasize about escaping reality as the world becomes more stressful and overwhelming? The idea of disconnecting completely feels like a solution. Again, it's like when you get excited about things, it's because you're currently feeling like you need a solution to whatever the thing is. It's like external solutions instead of how can I change my day to day?
And same thing with I think finding an external solution of like wanting to be a better golfer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm just nonstop watching these training videos and then none of it's really retained yet or putting it into action like at the moment.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like you can only watch so many YouTube videos where it's then like you're gonna get better the more you do it.
Yeah. That was the same thing when I was like producing music. I just you get stuck in
watching
tutorial.
Yeah.
Like limbo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's making you feel like you're learning it because you're seeing someone else do it how you want to. And you're like, it's that feeling that's just feeling absolutely nothing.
But then also your brain can only retain so much information. And I'm even just comparing that to my experience with learning like print. And if I just read articles and watched videos of like how to print, how to like do this, like my brain would be so overloaded. And then there's no way that realistically I would be able to execute that well. Like moving forward, it was like learning by doing, making lots of mistakes, learning from those mistakes. Like you actually do need to make a lot of mistakes to learn. Like that just is how it like clicks. It's just like, oh,
yeah,
I won't do that again.
When you feel it.
Yes, you actually have to feel it. Totally. Last thought about digital nomads. It's about taking back control when society feels too chaotic to navigate. So if like you're overwhelmed, it's just nothing feels better than like running away and disconnecting from it all and, you know, being on my own and I don't need anyone but myself. And if society crumbles, I'll be okay because I have a solar panel and you know what I mean? It's just that.
Yeah, but then how long?
How long would you do that?
Because maybe it's awesome though, for like 3 days and just like.
Well, that's the thing.
Fuck, I'm
lonely
and bored.
Airbnb it. Try it out. And like Logan and I talked about living in an RV again because we're like we just want to save money. Like we don't want to have to keep getting into these apartment leases. When I was working for the Amanos, I asked them if we could get an RV
Oh,
and
actually,
park
no,
it
I
in their
remember that.
backyard.
I thought you were talking about like recently.
No. It's been since this time, because then we were like, what if we got a studio apartment and just tried out small space living, and then we'll know whether or not, obviously there's a lot of other factors like living in a complex, like that's not the same as having an RV, but just the small space of it all, like could we do it? And it was a short-term apartment lease. It was like 8 months, I think, or
Oh my
7
God,
months.
insane.
I hated it. We had the 2 cats too with Logan and me, 350 square feet.
Small.
It was so small. It was so difficult. We never wanted to be there. So we were spending all of the money we were saving eating out, because it was like, I don't want to make food in this kitchen, like, and eat on my bed. Like, you know what I mean? That we were constantly coming up with ways to not be in that apartment, that then we were spending so much money, you know? Just funny things. Hee, ha ha. Okay, another little quick subculture just to round it out. I mean, we don't even have to get into this. I'll just quickly. Clowncore.
Oh, scary.
It's a rebellion against minimalism at the end of the day. The circus aesthetics, chaotic, colorful fashion, embracing absurdity, celebrating chaos as a form of self-expression. Goblin core. An aesthetic that,
Cores,
I mean, these are like, the core. Cores.
That was a phase.
Cottage core. I mean, I could list a million cores.
What is a core?
I think it's an aesthetic.
Okay.
I think it doesn't go as deep as lifestyle. It doesn't go as deep as furries, in my opinion. It's like it's cosplaying in a little bit of a different way. Like Goblin Core, the aesthetic is like moss, odd trinkets, maybe living in a forest, like mud.
Fantasy.
Mud art. I don't know. Fairies.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mushrooms. You know what I mean? Like aesthetics. Rejecting mainstream beauty standards. Cottagecore is like trad wife trying to go back to where things were before women could work or vote.
Trad wife core?
It's like the trad. Have you seen? There's just these Mormons. Ballerina Farm is very trad wife. They're like millionaires. The dad, like his dad owns like Delta Airlines or something. But they live on this farm in the middle of nowhere. They make the mom. They have like 6 or 7 kids, and she makes everything from scratch. She creates all this content. She now has like a brand around Ballerina Farm because she was a ballerina in New York, like before moving to this goddamn farm. She makes milk. She's like milking the cows. Like cheese. She's like, doing the thing. Butter, bread, like every single thing from scratch. And this girl is just working day in, day out, tending to the kids, making the food. And the dad's just coming like, just nibble on the food. He doesn't really
what is
the
this?
Kids.
On TikTok?
This is a girl on TikTok who, her name's Ballerina Farm, the name. But there's a lot of like trad wife content right now. To where women are like, I don't want to work. I just want to stay home and make food and take care of my children. But I think that to a point speaks to just how expensive childcare is and how there's no community and there's no village to help with the children. Because it's like a lot to work and tend to children at the same time. It's a lot, and I relate to that, and I also like to make sourdough bread. Okay.
It's been a minute.
I know my starter died. I had to reinvigorate
just get
it.
Noble.
It's annoying because I enjoy the process. It takes 2 days to make once the starter is ready.
It's so messy.
It's so messy. Even if you try to be clean, flour everywhere. In the air, in the ducts, under the thing, flour everywhere.
Oh.
And that's my biggest hurdle, my biggest barrier to it. Final thoughts. Are these subcultures a reflection of society's failure to provide hope, support, and community? Yes. But at the same time,
society's failure. Interesting.
Yes, I do think it's that. I think it's also just the internet access of it all. I think there's potentially some childhood trauma at play. To where you don't feel like you can be one with society and one with community, and you have to find these little niches of belonging.
Mm-hmm.
The alternate reality and alternate identities to cope with the chaotic world, the divided community. And maybe it's just less about being weird and out there and more about wanting to feel understood and connected.
Yeah, sometimes you think about without the internet, like what it's just so there's just so much information. So like the perfect morning routine or vice versa, the night routine.
Oh
It's
my God,
like,
I know.
what the hell was I doing before, and was it okay? Like, and, like, how would you know if it was okay? You know?
Yes,
But
like,
like, who's saying it's okay? Scientists, fucking
and
these
does it
podcasts.
even matter what other people say is like a good morning routine? And like, do you feel energized? Do you feel good? Do you feel like you're taking care of yourself? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
those are the markers. Did I get enough sleep? Like, am I doing the best for me? Am I like being attentive to Sienna, but still giving myself self-care? You know, am I doing my skincare routine? You know, do what's best for you.
yeah.
And
At
that
the end of the day,
is just the hard part, is the external validation factor. And the
or
external,
think
like,
knowing what is best for you
or thinking that other
without the
people give a
distraction.
shit
Yeah, I mean,
about
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
About your tail, your furry tail.
About that furry tail and that collar. All right, that was a good one. Should we just end it on like a 1, 2, 3? Try to say the word at the same time. It has to be something from this
The
episode.
category? Oh,
Just one word from this whole time we've been speaking. Just think of one word. It can't be furry
yeah. I was gonna
because
say
it's
that was too recent.
too recent. I have it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Brony.
Creamsicle.
Damn it. Damn it. That would have been a good one.
I know. Do you want to think of another one?
We'll do one more.
Okay, hold on. Like, what did we talk about? I have to go back through.
I don't know.
We don't have to.
Yeah, it's not.
Let's just do the one, and we didn't make it. So, all right, bronies.
Our little bronies.
All right, pepperoni. Oh,
That's why I thought of pepperoni.
Yeah,
I was like,
because we called
oh,
pepperoni.
pepperoni. Yes. Oh, okay.
So we are one of them. This was an interesting little foray into subcultures. I don't even know what to think.
Yeah, there's so
Except,
many
you know
more.
what? Do what you want to do. I don't give a shit. You know? But
Because no one is.
listen to the scam episode, because there's traps everywhere you go. That's the thing. There's probably like traps in subcultures of like
Yeah.
people targeting vulnerable people that are seeking belonging,
Yeah, you gotta be careful. I mean,
money, stealing money. Oh, my mom's in the hospital. Transfer me $300. You know? It's like, oh. All right. On that note, see you next Tuesday. Thanks for joining.
it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye.